All right, here we are. So, hi everyone, welcome. And today I'm going to be talking with Zach Robertson down in Bardstown, Kentucky. I met Zach at his beautiful shop, which you see displayed behind him in Bardstown. What was it, May, I guess?
Yeah, I think it
And
was. I think it was May. That sounds about right.
yeah, and we
So,
got to chatting about what their social media adventure has looked like.
yeah. Yeah.
And he was
Always
like,
interesting.
it's been a roller coaster. And I was like,
Yeah,
awesome.
always.
Let's
Yeah.
talk
But
about it.
yeah, let's do it. I'm ready whenever you are. Just dive in if you want to. It's up to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So, you want to just give it like a brief introduction about what your role is, a little bit about Shaq and Coco, and then we'll kind of jump
Okay.
into the questions.
Okay. So I'm Zach. I'm the manager here. And there's the owner, Bonnie Hamilton. Her and I do a lot of the stuff together. And I take care of just the day-to-day bookkeeping stuff. Well, our accountants do that, but I send them information and payroll and management scheduling and layout, design, buying, all that stuff. And we coordinate. We work really well together. And but yeah, we had some mixed bag, and her and I both do the social media. We admin and do a lot of those kinds of things. So we've recently really kind of come into it and really started enjoying doing videos and stuff. So it's been pretty good.
Yeah. So when we were there, you had told me a little bit about Shaq and Coco, and like you guys are a really interesting combination for like a retail location. So like tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about all the things that you sell.
Okay, so we do clothing. We do a lot of gifts. So many cool gifts. We have furniture too. We carry rugs. A lot of artwork. It's our favorite stuff that we have in the shop. We really into that. And and then also too in 2019 we opened up a book and wine bar over here, and that's been really cool too. And that took off really well. We do private events, and then we do also ticketed events, and we just do public events too. We kind of just with adding the alcohol to the shop, it kind of elevated the shopping experience for people, especially tourists, because we're a tourist town, and bourbon's really heavy here, and so it's cool. We get people from all over the place, so it's fun.
Yeah, it was a really interesting. My sister and I, when we walked in there, were like, "Oh, I want that, and I want that,
Oh
and I want
yeah, I know.
that."
You
And
really
oh,
did. You totally
you're
did.
gonna give me some champagne while I look at this? Okay, great. Yeah. And I want that, and I want that.
Yeah.
Like it was
Right.
so
Yeah.
fun. It
You
was
guys
so
were
fun.
fun, really. You guys were too fun. I really enjoyed. I can't wait till you guys come back, actually. So
I
yeah.
know. We were trying to
Yeah.
get tickets to that bourbon festival, and there is no housing to be had. So it's
Yeah,
gonna
it
have to be
sucks.
next
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, it's out. Like it's but I guess you could always stay in Springfield or something, kind of close by and do a shuttle.
Yeah, that
I
sounds
mean,
that sounds. I'll just book
I
it for
got
the
you. I got you.
year.
No,
Okay,
yeah,
so
you're good. You're
the
good.
evolution of your social media. Let's jump into that. So
Okay.
talk
Well,
to me a little bit about how it started and who was doing it, and then like what you guys have
well,
moved to now.
okay. So in the very beginning, it was very it wasn't it wasn't great. There wasn't a lot of attention being paid to it. And it was one of the things that the owner actually, she really it was very important to her, and this was whenever I just did design the layout of the shop and kind of did those things, and merchandising and such. And whenever the hands changed, the evolution wise, we dove into it more. We're like, we have to engage people more. How are we going to engage people more? What are we going to do? And so we really just from the ground up had to pretty much rebrand and rebuild. And it's taken us a while to really. We're still not necessarily where we need to be, but what company, you're always constantly evolving and growing. But for us though, we've just gotten really interactive with people, and we do a lot of videos, which are very good. It's a great way to interact with the customers and guests of ours. And I think though, like I said, we know there's always room to grow, and there's always room to just to evolve things with it. But yeah, right now we're getting more and more followers with engagement. We're looking at like learning how to read analytics more, and posting times and all that stuff. It's tricky, but once you get into a groove of it, it's kind of starts getting second nature, really. So
Yeah. So, okay. So what you've talked about, like 3 things I want to hit on. One was um, surprising successes. So you said something about like, surprisingly, videos have been really successful. So I want to touch on that.
yep.
2, what have you found out from your analytics? Like your business is a little bit of a mesh of like a bar and a bookstore and a clothing store and a furniture and interior design kind of fashionista type thing. So like you've got all of these different realms, and if you will, each of those might have different target markets that don't necessarily overlap 100%. So like, what have you found? And then my third piece of that is like, in the beginning and as you guys have working, what has been like an epic fail? So like those 3 things.
An epic fail. So it's kind of funny, which I hope this answers your question to a degree. But one of the few things that we've always tried really hard to get into, like shoes. That's one
Okay.
thing that, like, even like marketing that and trying to do that, and really stuff like that will take off for a while. We'll do okay with it, and then it always kind of crashes and burns. And then if we don't post our events and we don't post the right time and do them the right days too, those can be either really good or really bad. So
Okay, so what's
that's
your
one
day and
thing I
time?
actually. So usually it's Thursday. Thursday is normally that's the best day for us. And
Okay.
so we had some events here, that we were like, you know what, Thursdays are great. We love them. We love doing Thursdays, but like we're gonna try some more um, Saturday oriented stuff. And every time we try to do it, it's a disaster. So we've
Disaster
been
as
sticking with
in no one
Thursday.
shows up, or like it's a shit
Yeah,
show?
like it's no, it's just it's very few people.
Okay.
And shit show, yeah. Not no, I wish. I mean, that'd be a good change, but like I said, we yeah, that'd be fun. At least if it was like, kind of crazy. But it's just too, and like trying to figure out whenever we're doing targeted posting or anything.
Hmm.
It's like, okay, where does this need to go? Where do we need to be targeting? Like, because obviously, if we're doing a local event, Bardstown people, sure. But with our Bardstown Bourbon Company event, whenever we did that was the Bardstown Bourbon Company. We collaborated with them, had a really, really fun event, really awesome turnout. But we also had help though, because they were promoting the event to promote their brand too. So collaborative things are good successes whenever we do anything like that. It's
Okay.
those they're really good. Whenever collaborations like work the best always.
That's
So
interesting because that's a co-branding
yep.
thing.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think that maybe, I mean, I guess in the line of what you guys do, that makes more sense because you get more reach
Sure.
because they're reaching their audience and you're
Yes.
reaching your audience, and then you get the
Sure.
kind of spillover where they fall into your category now.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And with them too, they're doing kind of eclectic things, and like we're doing eclectic things, and also too, like like you said, you're reaching these people that didn't even know that we existed, that are from the tri county area, and it brings just so much more people in here, and so that's been really important for me, like trying to reach out. And recently too, a friend of mine, her mother, she's you met Rachel Miller actually at the Harrison Smith House. So her mom does Widow Jane. She's their itinerant distiller. Her and I are doing a collaboration here together soon. And
Awesome.
I'm thrilled about getting out there and being a little bit more adventurous with it. And that's always good. But,
Awesome. So your page is Shaq and Coco, right? This is what you guys look
yes.
like. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
guys can, if students want to go follow, like you can see all the different things that you guys got going on. So I think I joined in
Yeah.
May right after we met, and your
Yeah.
followers have
Yeah. Yeah.
even increased since then. And I have definitely noticed the more videos. You guys are getting more videos. And
Yeah.
they're kind of funny,
They work.
quirky little
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So have you found with the analytics, going into the analytics a little bit, like what are y'all finding? What's your best day or what's your best time to post? Have y'all figured that out?
So it's a little loaded, but so sometimes earlier in the week around noon's good, and then after that, like, we'll get really high engagement with regular posting, and then like videos and that kind of thing too. I was kind of following a rubric of I kind of researched a little bit and said, when's the best time to post a video? And it kind of varied. So I've been finding that if we do a video posted around 6 o'clock, or in the evening, I guess people are kind of like winding down, they're on their phones. That has been when we get the most views. And actually, I've dropped a few different ones at different times to kind of pay attention to it.
Test it.
And yeah, and Instagram is a mixed bag. Whenever I'll go to sleep, I'll nothing will be going on my phone. I'll wake up in the morning, get coffee, get on my phone. We have so many likes between this time period. You know what I mean? Where people are like late night scrolling, I guess. So that's like it's all over the place sometimes. But for videos, it's evening, and for posts around like noon, I guess people are going to lunch or whatever, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that works. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So the what we teach is 1 p.m. that anything around 1 p.m. is going to be like a hit on Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, which is kind of random. But I love hearing that different, because I think it's strongly dependent on your audience and what they're in it for. So I love hearing that there's some variation for you guys and that certain content works at different times. That's really cool.
If I post something on a Saturday, it'll flop.
Really?
It'll do well in the morning. Okay, like I'll do like you've probably seen them. I'll do a thing on there that'll say we're having Bellinis, we're doing XYZ, today, and we'll get like 15, 20 likes. You know what I mean? And then like it's flat. So that's one thing I've noticed, because I guess on Saturday for us too, that's our busiest day, and that's our with customers, and like because we're kind of an experience store too, and so it's very interesting to see how the Saturday thing works for us. And then Sundays, when I posted just random things that aren't promoting anything, that are just kind of like just normal posts, like something silly, they do really well. You know what I mean? Because people, I guess, are hungover, on Sunday, like on their phone. You know what I mean? I know I do that. I mean,
or bored.
Or absolutely bored. Yeah, absolutely. Waiting for a table at a restaurant or something. Yeah, get your phone out.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. So next question I've got is, what all platforms do you guys use currently?
So we do Instagram and we do Facebook, of course. And I never wanted to bother with Twitter. I didn't figure that would be a route that we would want to go necessarily. And our Instagram, it really, the engagement on there is a younger audience, and Facebook is a little bit of an older audience, which I think most people can kind of gather that and know that by now. But for us though, like it's really important to use both of them, because we're reaching, because there's people like I didn't have a Facebook. I got one when Facebook started, and then I got rid of it in 2009, and I did not have a Facebook until I took over social media here. So it was like a whole thing for me, like where I had to relearn a lot of that stuff. But Facebook is very effective. It's very effective, and Instagram is effective too. That Instagram leads to more product sales in here, I think. I found so far, like where people too are like, I got to come in here and try that dress on, or whatever. And it's mostly Instagram people, which is kind of cool. So I really like that. But
I love that. Okay, so who do you consider your target market? And it sounds like you feel like maybe you have two different target markets depending on the platform.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so tell me
let's see.
From like the store perspective, who your target market is, and then tell me on Facebook who you think you reach, and then on Instagram who you think you reach. Does that make sense?
In store, we obviously, I think I said before, we have a lot of tourism, and we really try to do things and like engage our people on Facebook, social media, posting just different stuff about events, trying to get people back in the shop. And now as far as Instagram, of course, that's a little bit younger, and and for that's who we're trying to reach on there. And then like Facebook, it's just people that I guess just what would the bracket be? This is going to sound kind of bad, but grandparents, people like that shop in here, that kind of thing. I feel like that's what we're getting and engaging with on there, on that end.
So with your store, if your store was a person at a party, okay, tell me about this person. What would they drink? What would they talk about?
Okay.
What would they wear? And what would they choose to sit on since you guys have furniture,
Huh.
right? I'm going to let you chew on that for just a minute.
Okay. So if rephrase that a little bit, actually, you got me on that.
If your store was a person at a party,
Okay. All right, I'm back. I got you.
so your persona, what would they drink? What would they talk about? What would they wear? And what would they choose to sit on?
Okay, so first of all, champagne, right up the gate. Tulle skirt, and I'm on. I don't know. We wouldn't be sitting. We'd be standing. We'd be moving around.
Okay.
We'd be talking to people. We'd be engaging people.
You'd be wearing fancy shoes?
Yeah, probably pink heels.
Pink heels. Okay.
You know? Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
And you have
and pearls.
And pearls, pink heels and pearls. Okay, so we're a little classy, tulle skirt, little edgy, little flashy.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that describes you guys perfectly. Now, what would you be talking about?
Thanks.
Your bookstore too, right?
Yeah,
so
I feel like latest music, you know, like what are you listening to? Like what we'd be talking about the music that's playing, you know, talking about like, you know, what good books have you read lately, but also too, we'd be talking about nothing too. We'd just be, you know, vibing, I think, you know, like, I don't know, it just be all over the place. I think because like obviously you've seen it in here before. It's very eclectic, you know. And so like we have so many different moods, you know, as far as like things in here. And so I think we'd be up for anything, you know. I try to veer away from politics like the plague, you know, which is, I think is a safe rule of thumb for parties. But but you know, like we're not afraid, you know, if we need to. But I think we like to have fun. We don't like to take ourselves too seriously. So that's who we would be at the party.
Yeah, sure. I think I would add to that I think if you were sitting, you would pick like the most elaborate piece of furniture that's comfortable.
Yeah.
So like
for sure.
the velvet covered, bright, like very inviting settee or chaise lounge, or like what you're looking at. I know what you're looking at right now. Yeah, like what you're looking at right now is what I envision your store sitting on if it were at a party.
I think you're correct. But that's perfect. I think so too. Like I want the most interesting, best spot where I can see everybody too. You know what I mean? I want to
bring the conversation. Like I'm not sitting in an individual chair by myself in a corner. I'm sitting in the middle of the room on the big, soft, comfy thing that invites conversation.
Exactly. Perfect. Yeah, I like that.
So, okay, great. So you said you manage your social media with the owner. Mm-hmm. Okay. And would you say that you guys like have a voice or a persona that you put on when you use social media?
I actually was prepared for this question. So not to be corny and not to be cheap sounding about this, but you know, one of our biggest things here, truly, I can't stress this enough. We're very real with people. We're very we really are very much ourselves. You know, whenever you're watching a video of something that we're doing on there, like whatever, you know, whether it's just a fun one, like we're doing like a Q&A video, or we're doing we're, you know, going over clothes and stuff, we're being real with people, and like we're being realistic about things, and we're not I don't know, we don't really bullshit people. You know, we really don't, like, you know. And sometimes too, like part of our voice and part of our brand that for me personally is really important is that we're of course you're wanting to make sales, right? Of course you are. You know, that's you have a business, but also too, like we don't want to sell somebody something that's horrible for them or doesn't look good on them or doesn't fit. Like we're like, no, we think you can do better, or you know, whatever. So our thing, I guess, is just being realistic and being very real with people, and that's authenticity. That's exactly right. We like to be authentic with people because we want it in return. You know, we don't like phony. You know, so it's like we really want. That's what we want. That's what our voice is. We want authenticity. You know, what you're seeing really is what you're getting with us. It's consistent. It really is. So with consistency and authenticity.
So I would say that if I could add to that for you, what I have observed is that you guys seem to be authentic, fun loving, eclectic, as you've mentioned, And
Thank
I
you.
would say not closed-minded, like
Not at
open to
all.
the things. I mean, you think about what Bardstown is. Bardstown is a very small city outside of Louisville in Kentucky,
Mhm.
and it's in the middle of the Bible Belt and bourbon country, right? And so like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Bibles and
yeah.
bourbon don't typically go real well together. And I think that it when I went to Bardstown and when I came into your store, I would say that it was just kind of a refreshing, open feeling that I absolutely
Yeah.
did not anticipate. And
Thank you. Yeah, no, that's it. That's really it. You know, we're inclusive of everybody. You know, too, and like we don't care. You know what I mean? Like it's you're be good to us and be good to people. You know, we'll be good to you. You know
yeah,
that's another thing we drive on too. It's like we just are very we want to treat people how we want to be treated. Basically, really, that's also it. That's the golden rule. You know,
yeah,
and that's how it is in here. You know, I mean, like you know, you and this is funny, and like this is probably not a very popular opinion in retail, but your experience that you get when you come in the shop depends on you and how you are, and if you're receptive, that kind of thing. You know,
yeah,
we welcome anybody in when you come in. You know, but like it depends on you though. You know, and because we really do like people. You know, that's why we're you know doing what we're doing, and we have fun with people. We are fun loving, and but yeah, it's just we've been really fortunate where we do most of the time the people that come in the shop out of I would say a solid 88% are really awesome good people that come through here. You know, of course you got the other other percentile, but that's retail. You know what I mean? It's gonna happen, but most of the time we you know it's just is what it is. But that's rare for us too, though. Actually, it's really rare for us to get someone that's just a total monster in here. Watch, I get one of them today.
I'll get an email
Right?
later, a text.
Yeah.
So I lied. We had a batch of monsters today.
Sometimes it happens though, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? So
So with your
yeah.
content, thinking about the persona that you guys are trying to communicate and that you're trying to create, because what we talk about in marketing is this integrated marketing communication, that every touch point, IMC is the short of it, but every touch point with every consumer creates and feels the same, right? So how, when you guys are creating your social media content, you're creating a touch point with a consumer that feels like it feels when we're in the store, right? And so your IMC is, from my experience thus far, is very consistent. And I'm just wondering, like, do you guys get your inspiration for your content from any particular place?
Okay, so there are a few for me in particular that the companies that I like that I follow on Instagram that I shop at these companies um, that I do derive inspiration from, and even just visually too. You know, this is gonna sound like a basic answer, but you know anthropology, and I really love their layouts and stuff, and like we do some spins on things like that, and make it our own, and apparently whoever is buying for them is could have been us because well, we have a lot of the same stuff on accident that they have, but I think like there's a company too, Imogene and Willie. They're based out of Nashville. They're wonderful, and I love their social media. It makes me want to hire a photographer for our clothing and stuff that we get in here because them, you know, the way that they do things too, that really inspires me to do want to do better, and visually, and you know too, like we're real particular as well about like we like fonts and things that we use in
Yeah.
our with any of our stuff that we make. We're really conscientious of that, and
Well, that's part of your
but
brand,
just
right?
yeah,
It
yeah,
communicates
yeah,
something.
absolutely,
The font
yeah,
is a feeling. Like fonts provoke feeling. That's why we have all these different fonts, right? So
yeah,
like you
I
being
agree,
cognizant of that is also links into that integrated marketing communication thing. Like you are paying
yeah,
attention to every detail that a consumer interacts with
yeah,
from your
absolutely,
store. And like nothing so small as a font is insignificant because it provokes
I
and
agree.
evokes a feeling. And I think that that's
Mhm.
really interesting that, like, when we're as a consumer of social media, sometimes that stuff goes unnoticed, but it's not insignificant. Like, it's a
Correct, I agree.
right. Like it's a
Yeah.
problem if you notice it almost, unless it's creating feelings, positive feelings. But if you're like, ugh,
Mhm.
I hate that, like
Yeah. No, I
you don't
agree.
want
I
that.
agree.
So I
No,
really love that you
absolutely.
mentioned that those, even like the smallest things about the filter that you put on your pictures, the fonts that you
Yeah.
use in your text, the emojis that you use in the text that you're writing up,
Yes.
like all of those
Yeah.
things do actually matter and impact. Maybe they don't impact engagement, but they definitely impact the relationship and the creation of the bond between you and the consumer.
I agree. No, I cannot. Yeah, that's why you're a professor. That's right. I love that. I loved how you said that. No, it's true. I couldn't add anything to that if I tried. That was wonderful. Yeah, agreed.
But
Period.
it's like so cool to hear people that you don't have a marketing degree, right? Like that's not your background.
No,
What was your
English.
background? English, right?
English. Yeah.
Right.
I
Which
work. I
makes
work.
you a
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
content creator because you can make sure the grammar's right.
Sometimes I like. Oh my god. I like delete. I have to delete like. I had to delete so many posts a while back because like just like 'cause I was in a rush to do them, and I had made them on my app and all that stuff, and then I got them, and that was just, oh my god, it was. But yeah, I mean that's the thing too. There's error, you're gonna mess up, whatever that kind of thing. But you can fix it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you guys use a
yeah,
content creator?
yeah. Actually, it's funny because I do have Photoshop on my phone
Yeah.
on my computer, but I really like Canva.
Yes.
Can
My students will be
Yeah,
using that this year.
Canva's wonderful. I mean,
It's
like I actually
amazing.
too. I finally have pulled the trigger and I pay for
Oh
their
yeah.
premium thing on
Oh
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
me
yeah,
too.
yeah. It's wonderful. It's worth it. It's worth every penny. And that's the things you can do on there on your phone is absolutely insane.
I
It's
know.
insanity. It's
I
great.
know.
I'm like I said, I don't use Photoshop anymore.
You
Like I
don't
really
have
don't.
to.
Like I'm like why am I paying for this?
Yeah.
So yeah, Canva kills it.
Yeah,
100%.
they're using it for this class that you're talking for.
Oh,
Um,
cool. Hey,
yeah.
cool guys. Yeah, it's the best. It really is one of the best that I've experienced so far. And I use Snapseed sometimes to edit on the fly on my
Okay.
phone, which is, it's a little bit more it's not as clean and polished and pretty as Canva is by any stretch of the imagination. You don't have the cool capabilities with Canva, but but yeah, Canva, that's where it's at for sure. It's the best value in my opinion. So
So do you
for it.
use a Hootsuite or a HubSpot or anything like that for scheduling?
Um, I used to, and I really did. I used to do more scheduled posting. I would do posting for the entire week sometimes, but then I would start forgetting what I'm posting and stuff, and I would be deleting things that I shouldn't have deleted already. And so anymore, I in the morning or whenever I'm going to post, I have a really good team of people that work here, like some really really good kids, some good college kids, so they can run the store while I'm like, okay, I need to do a social media break. With no time, so I'll go in there and I'll punch my stuff out. But I if I were a little bit more, if I guess if we had more people doing other things around here, I might rely more again on a suite to do those things and push them out. But so far, currently I do not. So that was a
You've
long
moved
answer, but
away
yeah,
from that because it didn't work for you.
yeah, not really, no. Because we get so much stuff in frequently, and we're taking pictures of stuff. Where you're
Yeah.
taking new, and like whenever we have people to come in to model our clothes for us too, it's just like it was a lot of things going on. And today actually we're going to be shooting videos, and we block out a part in the day where we're focused and we do our social media stuff. We get our things together, we get our videos, we change clothing, and do move around to different parts in the shop. And that's always, those days are they're kind of grueling actually to do videos like we do, because we'll do like 6 or 7 at a time, and we have some people that are really professional setting us up doing it. It's pretty awesome. We're
That's
getting
so
lucky with them
fun.
though, because they're the owner's nephew and his wife. We got a really good break on that, so it's
Yeah.
pretty amazing. Yeah, so you can't really beat that. But so yeah, but
Awesome.
yeah, yeah,
I
for
love
sure.
that. So what's
Yeah.
your social media policy for your employees? Do you have one?
Um, No, not really. The thing is, what I don't know won't hurt me. Where I don't follow them, you know what I mean? I don't
Okay.
see it. But also too, what I really do have to say, and I have to stress, this I couldn't have got a better group of kids here. You know what I mean? That like they're not prudes or anything, but they have tact and sense about them. They
Okay,
know
so if
what to
they
do.
post on
Yeah.
behalf of Shaq and Coco, if they post on behalf of y'all, do you allow them to do that or like tag y'all when they're
Yeah.
at work or take
Yeah.
pictures?
Yeah.
So like there's
Yes,
free
I do.
reign or do you have to
Yeah.
approve it?
Um, I feel pretty good about them, and I pretty much they get free reign from me because I know they're not going to say something crazy. And plus, here's the thing too, I'm 35, and they're the other girl we have working here. She's 22, and I know they're not going to do anything crazy, but also they're younger than I am, and they know more things than I do right now about current stuff. So it's like I kind of want them to do that to reach
Sure.
to hit those people.
So you're also
So
getting your inspiration from your employees.
yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, I should have said that earlier. That's a really great point. I never thought about it that way, but no, yeah, absolutely. I kind of count on them actually a little bit to hey, like is this I bounce captions off them like, is this stupid? Like be real. If it's stupid, let me know. Like how does this sound to you? They're like, no, it's good. I'm like, yeah, I'm telling you, tell me. Go ahead. If it sucks, let me know, please. So yeah, we do. Yeah, I guess I do get inspiration from them. Yeah, that's a very, very good
Awesome.
point.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, so utilizing social media for several different reasons is pretty common. So raising awareness, influencing desire, encouraging trial, facilitating purchase, and creating loyalty.
Mhm.
Do you have like any of those that you do more than others? Because I've got my own thoughts about that from what I've observed, but I'd love to hear what your thoughts are.
Um, say that one more time. I'm trying to process what you just said.
Okay, so
Sorry.
it's in
Yeah.
the stuff I sent you, which is it's fine. But it's raising awareness, influencing desire, encouraging trial, facilitating purchase, and creating loyalty. Those are like the
So
5 pillars of like why we use social media.
I'm trying to answer that articulately as possible.
It's
Um,
okay, you don't have to be articulate.
well, as far as that goes, we really have built up a really good, an excellent base, especially of local people, and so a lot of that kind of catering with it. We do a lot of the stuff too, it's like we do it for out of town, of course, like people
Yeah,
to reconnect with,
like me.
but local people too, like, when Bonnie and I will be doing and like yourself, yeah, we'll be thinking of something. And two, we directly too, like if we have something that comes in the store, she's taking pictures of it and she's like sending it to people, and so we're very engaging in that level too, where it's almost like a personal shopping experience. Like if you want it to, if you tell us, you want us to do that, like we'll do that. And so that kind of engagement too, and that brings so much people back and brings them physically in here, and like, well, ship me whatever, like ship me a box of stuff, what you think I need to get. I'm just like, yeah, cool. We do that. And
So like you're
I don't know,
doing
I kind
your
of
own version of those shopping platforms that they're like personal
kind of, yeah,
shopper.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
super
and like
cool.
we yeah, we do that for sure. And like I'm looking at a couple boxes right now beside me now that I got to go out today to some friends of ours that people truly, when I say friends, I mean they become friends of ours too, in
Yeah,
here. And you mentioned to me about the third place, right?
yeah.
And we've really for a lot of people, too, and like even it's evolved so much more than just them shopping here. They come here, they're like, I'm like, we just sit and chat or whatever for a while. So that kind of engagement too, like what I know this is probably a real backwards way to even, if I'm even answering your question, but social media for that too is it's brought new people in for us. I mean, we get return customers from out of state, we get them from, and of course locals too, but we've really, that's how important it is, to stay on top of it and really build those relationships with your audience. And I'm really thankful that we're small right now as far as social media goes, that her and I are able to do that and engage people, like not face to face, but you're literally hearing from
A
us, not like an
one-on-one.
automated message on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. you know, so for us, that's how, for social media for us, it's important, you know, too. Like that's a big deal for us, you know, too, on that, as far as for social media use goes. So
You're like the relationship, the way that you talk about it is your platform, your social media is a way for you to create relationship and maintain the
yeah.
relationship with the people who you view as not customers, but as friends.
Yeah, and like I said, but that sounds like it's a corny
No,
thing, but it's really not, you know, because
but one way,
we're very.
go ahead.
No, you go, please.
I was just gonna say, like, what a great job to have, though, right?
It is. It really is, you know, and and it's not always perfect, you know. I mean, it's
Oh,
of
nothing
course it's
is.
not. You know, we have a lot of really crazy days here, crazy scenarios and stuff that pop up. You know, I mean, just different things that happen. You know, and it's like, just whatever. You don't want to be here some days, but overall, though, yeah, it's just what we're doing here and like how we're using it and stuff. You know, we're not taking the people for granted either. That's something else that we're not really taking our base, for granted. We enjoy our people. We love, interacting with them and stuff. So that's cool too for us. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Awesome. Was there
Yeah.
anything else you want to throw in before we wrap it up?
If you're thinking about, doing something like this, or you're wanting to get into it, do your homework and stuff, of course. There's a lot of just stuff that you don't see, the problems that you don't even think about, and things that you really got to get into and you really got to do. But it's to me, it's been worth it so far, and you just gotta you gotta give it your all, man. You need to just if you're wanting to do anything like this, run business wise, you really got to go for it. Because for me, things that I've done career wise, from corporate to political to this has by far been the best and the most enjoyable and frustrating but rewarding, truly. I meet people like yourself, and I'm not even just saying that, because I'm talking to you right now, but like I mean that. You meet so many people all the time, and it's excellent. It really is. It's been a game changer, and we're happy to be in the town contributing to all this coolness, for
It
real.
is
So
so
we're
cool.
happy.
It is so
Thank you
cool.
so much.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one last question before we go. This is curveball at you. If you could have
Okay.
done one thing different in college, what would it have been?
Uh, broke up with someone sooner.
Not study harder, not talk to your professors more, but
Nope.
not hung
Nope.
on to something that was toxic.
Correct. That is absolutely the one thing I wish I would have done differently about that, because yeah, wasting so much damn time, and it's like
Yeah.
now, yeah, but it's cool though. But I'd change that.
Okay. All right.
For sure.
Well, now we know.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. I don't care who knows.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to end the recording if I can figure out how to
Okay.